Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope everybody's well. It's been an interesting week, I can say that. Today is Model Cars and Coffee, which I'm sure a lot of you know. I'm sure the videos are floating around pretty good right now, which is a good thing. But we're going to get into something today that I've been kind of itching for. So we'll be right back, and we'll get right into it. Alrighty, so we've got our coffee. Definitely feeling much better. Actually was able yesterday, came out here because like I said in one of my previous videos, we started tearing this place up and moving stuff around and reorganizing and going through a bunch of stuff, trying to get things a little more functional, and that usually ends up leading to a little more cleanliness as well. Kind of like 5S, and if you're familiar with the 5S system at your corporations, that's kind of what we're doing. So again, where are my manners? Welcome back to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. I showed you a picture there of the Model Car Tech Talk. That is a Facebook group page. It used to be Larry's Model Cars. Larry is going to still stay on as an administrator. He just feels he doesn't have the time to devote to the page. I got a lot on my plate too, so I'm really glad that Larry's gonna assist me and help me out. And if I need to, I will definitely get another administrator to assist as well. The purpose behind the Facebook page, as much as I dread Facebook, is to just spread some positivity, trade some information back and forth, and be kind to everybody, get some techniques, trade techniques, just learn from each other, right? That's what this is supposed to be about. This is supposed to be relaxing, learn new techniques. I know for myself, when I learn new techniques, I get, just giddy like a kid when I'm doing something different and trying something new on the next build. So today, Model Cars and Coffee. What are we going to do? We're going to open one of these babies up. I know you've seen these flopping around. I know I'm not the first guy with them, but I've been itching to get into one of these things. I've gotten many messages from certain people of why are they doing a 72. It's very similar to the AMT 71. Yeah, no. There's differences between 71 and 72 in the real car stuff, and there's those subtle differences in this as well. This is an MPC versus the AMT, in my opinion, and I know a lot of people don't like AMT, but that AMT kit is the best duster on the market. That's the bottom line. The detail in that kit, the chassis, the inner fender wells, all the bones about that AMT kit are pretty close to spot on. The K-frame's nice in them, everything. Now, I'm assuming this is going to be like the Demon. The Demon was retooled, and the Demon was way better than I initially gave it credit. I mean, you can go back and find that video. I bashed it, and I feel stupid about doing it, really. But at the end of the day, there is some truth to it, in the fact of the way I look at things personally. If you're going to spend the money and the time to retool and do something, I'm a firm believer in doing it right. So, but they did what they felt was best for the heritage of the kit and bringing it back out. I mean, they could have not brought it back out. And I do believe that Round 2 watches these videos on a lot of this stuff. I've had numerous talks with other modelers and other content creators Of course, you know, you see Lucas C's always doing, you know, a round two review. So obviously they're watching. So what I want to do is open this up for you. I think this is going to have the similar chassis platform to the Demon. I'm hopeful because the Demon was definitely an improvement versus its original predecessor. And we're going to check this guy out. So let's flip this guy around and see what we got in the box. Alrighty, like I said, I pre-ordered these things right away when they became available for pre-order, which I think would have been around Black Friday, something like that. I got one of these. I got the Hellcat, and I got the Craftsman Series Barracuda. So figured we'd get one, see what it's like. We'll open her up together. Really cool. They give you all the glass and stuff like that. They got a lot of pieces in there. This one's actually got headlight lenses, which is a good thing. I love that part. These tires are really cool. These are the printed ones that are similar to the Demon. You got a set of slicks. Really cool. Let's get into this body. So this is what I'm itching to see. Yeah, it's pretty nice. There's a little bit of waves in it here and there. They got the front balance piece there. That looks pretty accurate. Marker lights are correct. Door handles. That's a nice meaty door handle. You can easily modify that to make that more realistic, or just sand it off and print some other ones. But a lot of people have asked me, well, what's the big difference? Well, the big difference was marker lights on the 72 versus 71. This valance piece is different. The grills had some different shapes. It had the large taillights in it. 71, they would have been about right to there. So the other thing was 72. 72 is the first of the year with the this body style to have this rib down the center. They carried this rib all the way into 73, 74, which is cool. For the longest time, you know, owning my 1-to-1, I thought all the Dusters had that ribs in the trunk like that. And then a friend of mine was building a Duster, and I've had quite a few spare trunks laying around, so I said, well, I got a trunk for you. You can come grab it. And then he come up here and he was like, no, that's the wrong year. He goes, mine doesn't have that rib. And I didn't know that. That was quite a while ago. But you take stuff for granted. But that rib was something that 72 brought in there. But a lot of this looks really good. You can definitely tell we're going to have to deepen the door lines. But I like the fact that they have the door line, or the fender line, that goes all the way through the rocker panel, because that is correct. They do have them up here on the top by the fenders and the cowl. They're they're kind of faint a little bit. At least you're not going to be able, maybe there you can. But all in all, really nice body. I'm digging it. So that's really cool. What do we got here? Yep, we got our engine block, core support, the lower valance piece. That's nice. We got some nice parts. Looks like the exhaust is separate from the chassis, so that's good. I mean, it's molded to the rear end. The rear end's kind of, you know, like I said, it's not the greatest to have all the exhaust, and it's not a very accurate looking rear end, but I mean, we're modelers, right? You can deal with it. Let's get that off to the side. So here's the grill insert right there. That looks pretty good. You could easily do some detail. I don't know about hogging it out. That'll be interesting to see if anybody hogs it out. It's it's an interesting like a Hemi style hood scoop for the drag part of this thing. Not accurate, but still kind of interesting. I like it, digging it, digging it. So we've got our wheel backs here. That's the correct steering wheel, which is really nice. These are your front mounts. There's your intake, your cylinder heads, your oil pan. Really cool. Washer bottle looks really good. Yeah, really nice. That looks really good. Your wing supports. There's your interior tub with no back seat, so that's cool. So you can make that for the drag purpose of that. There is the dash. That is the Duster dash. That was a lot of things that people were asking me is, you know, if I had heard any kind of inside information on this kit, if they were just using all the guts from the Demon, and obviously not. This is a different tree than what the Demon is, and I don't really get, I mean, Round 2 doesn't call me and consult me for Duster knowledge. Hood looks good, accurate. It's got the Plymouth badging right there, which is pretty small. Now here's the chassis, and that is definitely a copycat of the Demon chassis right there for sure. I do like the fact that they've done this with the Demon, where they put these pin locations in the upper fender wells to lock into the body right there. I do like that with the Demon. They've definitely improved this area on the retooling of the Demon and this Duster. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the drive shaft and part of the tail shaft in there, because I generally will put an aftermarket motor in them or whatever. Me personally, if they were retooling this, I would have just left this out. You got rid of all the exhaust, I would have just left that out personally. But like I said, it wasn't my call to make. And then you have the rear valance here. Now, like I said, the Demon has the same post system, you know, to put up into the body and with the valance in there. In fact, let me grab the Demon chassis. Yeah, so it is exactly the Demon chassis, you can see there. And it doesn't take much, so here you go. I've filled that and I've carved that drive shaft out of there, so it comes out of there really easy. I've also have mini tubbed this thing with the stock wheel wells yet and narrowed up the frame rails, so it's very easy to mini tub these chassis as well. Just takes a little bit of styrene and a Dremel, and you can easily do that. Same thing with this drive shaft. That thing, you basically, what you have to do is, you can see here they've got this groove in here, and if you take a piece of styrene and you fill this thing in and glue it in there good and cut it, you can just take your Dremel and carve out the drive shaft very easily. Like I said, it's not a real big deal, but in this day and age of modeling, I would have left the drive shaft out of it, especially being that you got the chunk of the tail shaft in there. But yeah, and then, you know, I've done some other modifications to this chassis because it's going in my Demon. But this is the Demon chassis that they just retooled, so that's cool that they're repurposing some of their stuff. Now you've got another hole here in the hood on your second hood. They do have the markings in the hood for you to drill out for the scoop, because the scoop has little pins on there to guide you and get you all lined up. That's cool. There's your back seat casing if you decide you wanted to put the seat in there. Yeah, so let's see. So there's our grill. I like that grill much better than what they did with the Demon. You've got nice headlight buckets here, and you're putting lenses in there. They did not do that with the Demon. And then you have just a chrome background here that you're putting the shark tooth inlay in. that's going to be interesting because I can already see what's going to happen with some of the 3D printing people on how to make these grills more accurate, and I've already got an idea on that as well. The bumpers look good. The only thing I don't care for is right here they put like a license plate frame molded into the rear bumper. They should have just left that flat, in my opinion, to put whatever plate you want on there. But one really cool thing that they've done here is you have a Mopar air cleaner and valve covers. That's really cool. I'm shocked that they did that, but that looks really nice. It'd be very interesting when you go to strip the chrome off, because sometimes these things dipped in chrome kind of clogs up some of the detail. So it'd be kind of interesting to strip the chrome off them and see how accurate the detail is in them things. But same wheels that were in the Demon there, for the drag version, come in there. Then you've got the Mopar rallies up here. Really nice. You got the chrome mirrors, the shifter, really cool. That's a nice tree there. Let's see, what do we got in here? This is going to be our sticker sheet and our instructions. So there you go, 72 Plymouth Duster. Well, that sticker sheet's really wrapped up. Let's open that up too. Well, helps if you cut it right, Jason. Sometimes you get to be too careful and you don't cut it right. So let's open this up here, see what this has to bring. Wow, really nice decals. Love the Duster swirls. The stripes look really good. That's definitely the 72 stripe. Really nice. They did a really good job with these. Let's hope. I mean, these look better than the Demon one. The Demon stickers are really thick, and they are really hard to get to lay down. It takes a lot to get them to work. So these feel thinner than the ones in the Demon, but we won't know until we get to building and putting them on. But really cool. They got some really nice stickers. The Mopar Performance stickers in here, the Plymouth logos, 340 logos. They got some really cool license plates in this one. They did a really good job with the artwork on the sticker sheet. Let's just hope that it's better than the Demon. The Demon was extremely thick, and to get the stickers to conform is a bear. So it takes a lot of finesse to get the Demon ones to lay down the way you want. So yeah, that's looking really good. Really impressed with that. Like I said, you got your paintable mirrors as well. We're going to leave the chrome in there. Like I said, the glass we're going to leave in there as well. This tree here. Let's open this bag up real quick. Get into some of these parts trees, see what this thing is all consisted of, you know what I mean? And I dropped the rear end. So like I said, the rear end is not bad, but it's definitely not very accurate. How you got all the exhaust and stuff, and then it's hollow on this side. But for this purpose of this kit, that's fine. Not everybody's going to build the bottom sides of their cars in great detail. The fact that they've separated the exhaust from the chassis is a win. This is a win. This thing has really nice tips. If you can see that, they're already kind of hollowed out, so that saves you a ton of time right there if you're looking for a realistic tip, which that rear end is the same as the Demon. That's cool. The firewall is the same as the Demon kit. The cross member, the motor, the roll bar, All that's the same. That valance piece right there, that is for the Demon. That is not for the Duster right here. That's for the Demon. The Duster does not have that valance piece. That valance piece is strictly Demon. So you can tell that they've used a lot of the tooling from the Demon to do this Duster, which you knew that was going to happen. And then you've got your Duster hood scoops right here, your seat backs. You could put the rear spoiler on there. I did see the rear spoiler support pieces on there. Like I said, really cool. I mean, I knew they were going to use a lot of the Demon tooling, but they did a really good job, in my opinion, on this kit. The Duster body looks really good. I mean, I can see there's some waves in it a little bit, but that's just part of the molding process. But until we get sanding, I mean, it doesn't look too bad when I'm looking down how straight it is. It's not bad. It's really not bad. And it's flat. So that's a huge thing right there, is it's sitting flat. You know, a lot of times they're pretty crooked. So I've had a lot of the Revell darts being kind of crooked and wobbling. So I would say this is definitely a win for round 2, this kit. If you like your Dusters, you're going to want to go get you one of these. I think this one is really nice. They definitely, I think, learn from a few of the flaws with the Demon, and when they produce this one, and maybe how they're ejecting them out. Like I said, the roof looks really good. There's no like kittywampus warps or anything, so they did a really good job. So kudos to round 2 on that deal. We'll box that thing back up, and let's flip this guy around. All right, well, I hope you like that. That kit looks to be a lot of fun. Like I said, I think they did a really good job with that kit. I would say that's better than the original one by a landslide. The Demon was better than the original Demon, and they took some of the things from that new release Demon, incorporated it into this kit, and now I think they've also learned some of the manufacturing flaws that they had with the Demon when they did this kit. So that's a good sign when a company is making changes in a better way going forward. So many places do things so backwards, and then on top of that, people don't listen to their people at the companies. But obviously, round 2 is listening. I would say they're listening to the content creators. They're listening to the social media outlets of people having conversations about the products. And I would say they are definitely putting their best foot forward. They definitely did on that 72 Duster kit. So if you are wondering, don't wonder, go buy that kit, especially if you're a Mopar guy like me. So we're going to cut this thing short. I'm going to get back on my bench because I haven't been on there for quite a while. I've got some motors to do. I'm doing like 4 or 5 motors at the same time, getting the detail work on the builds that we've got currently working. We're just in motor mode, and it's been a lot of fun doing it. I was doing it the beginning part of the week until I got sick, and now we can go back to it. So we're going to start working on some detail stuff. So with that being said, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Get those coffee cups filled and get some bench time. Peace out, everybody.